Hello, continuing on. We're going to talk about four people types now. And there are different systems and processes to identify the different groups of people out there. Um, but they tend to fall into place and they all point to the same thing, which is the point I'm making in this discussion, which I'll get to at the end. First of all, there are four people types. I'm going to run through the list first, just so you can see the difference in them. Number one, outgoing, task oriented. The second one, outgoing, people oriented. So it tends to take, are you reserved or outgoing? And you tend to focus on tasks or people. Okay. So those are those two. The other two are reserved, task oriented, and reserved, people oriented. Again, characteristic, and then what is tends to be your focus. Okay, let's go back to outgoing, task oriented people. That's about 10% of the population. They tend to be dominant, demanding in a good way, and need challenges. So when you have somebody in that category, it's good to know who they are so that you continually challenge their abilities. The next one, outgoing, people oriented. This is about 25 to 30% of the population. These tend to be inspiring people and impressive. But one thing about them, they need recognition. So going back to our previous discussion about being valued, that fits in very nicely there. They need to be recognized. They'll do it, but thank them after they get done. The third group, reserved, path oriented. 20 to 25% of the population. These people tend to be cautious, competent, and need quality answers. So when they bring up questions, give them an answer, a good one, right? They're looking for answers so that they can continue in their competency, in their cautious nature. Okay. The fourth one, reserved, people oriented. 30 to 35% of the population. So these are people that are very supportive, very stable, and need to be appreciated. So that's their nature, 30 to 35%. Now, the point of all of this, as a leader, and we start working with people, whose responsibility is it to adjust to the variations of the people? And nobody's going to fit perfectly into all these four. They tend to be somewhat blended, which reinforces the point. Whose responsibility is it to adjust for differences? It's ours. The people that report to you are not going to adjust to who you are. They will to the degree that you lead them, but they're not going to conform to who you are as a person. It's our job to realize and identify where people are and what their skills are, their strengths and their weaknesses. Now, the last point I want to make on this point of these different varying percentages goes to show that based on who we are, we have at best a 35% chance that our people are like us. If we happen to be outgoing, task oriented, we only have a 10% chance. So the point of all this is to realize that it's important that we understand who our people are, we respect them for who they are, we lead them accordingly, and they will follow you. Have a wonderful day.